The Young and the Restless Spoilers. The drama surrounding Kyle Abbott, Claire Newman, and Audra Charles in The Young and the Restless continues to unfold, sending shockwaves through the lives of these characters. What began as a seemingly innocent relationship between Kyle and Claire has now evolved into a tangled web of secrets, manipulation, and unspoken truths that threaten to tear them apart. Audra Charles, a woman known for her boldness and ambition, is not one to back down from a challenge. Her failed attempts to rekindle something with her former lover, Kyle, have only made her more determined to break up his budding relationship with Claire. She has become increasingly daring in her actions, pushing boundaries that were once considered untouchable. Despite her failed attempts to seduce Kyle back into her arms, she is not one to walk away quietly. The stakes have been raised, and Audra's next move could spell disaster for everyone involved. Kyle, though deeply in love with Claire, is trapped in the web of deceit he's woven. He knows he needs to confront the truth, but the fear of losing Claire consumes him. As the weight of his guilt grows heavier, he may be forced to make a choice, one that will either solidify his commitment to Claire or plunge him deeper into a sea of regret. The emotional pressure is mounting, and in his effort to prove his devotion to Claire, Kyle may make a rash decision, one that he will come to regret. Will he propose to Claire in a desperate attempt to prove his love, or will the lies he's hiding drive him away from her for good? As Kyle navigates his guilt and confusion, Claire remains blissfully unaware of the scandalous entanglement that has occurred between Kyle and Audra. The chemistry between Kyle and Audra is undeniable, and though Claire has no knowledge of their physical closeness, the tension between the characters is palpable. A secret kiss, shared between Kyle and Audra, remains a hidden chapter in their story, a chapter that could shatter Claire's world if the truth ever came to light. In a moment of weakness, Kyle and Audra's actions escalate, culminating in a passionate encounter that leaves Kyle questioning his own morals. The implications of their actions weigh heavily on him, and as Claire's trust in him continues to grow, so does his guilt. The stakes are raised even further as Kyle exposes Audra's manipulative actions, revealing her attempts to use Victor Newman for her own gain. Though he succeeds in exposing her plot, the damage has already been done. Kyle's intimate encounters with Audra, the lingering moments of closeness that have been kept secret from Claire, cannot be erased. The guilt Kyle feels is compounded by the knowledge that he has betrayed Claire in the worst way possible. He has kept too many secrets, and now, the time has come for him to face the consequences. Will Kyle finally come clean to Claire, confessing everything about his actions with Audra? Or will his fear of losing her drive him to continue hiding the truth, leading to even more devastating consequences? The path ahead for Kyle and Claire is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The truth, once revealed, will change everything. Kyle's journey toward redemption will be a long and painful one, and Claire's reaction to the revelation of Kyle's betrayal could determine the future of their relationship. Audra, for her part, is not one to quietly accept defeat. Her bold and manipulative nature will undoubtedly lead to further drama, as she refuses to let go of her plans. She will stop at nothing to get what she wants, even if it means tearing apart the relationships she has already broken. Her continued pursuit of Kyle, despite his clear affection for Claire, speaks to her relentless drive and her willingness to play dirty in order to win. As the drama unfolds, it remains to be seen how each character will react to the impending storm. Will Kyle and Claire's relationship survive the truth, or will they be torn apart by the weight of Kyle's lies and Audra's interference? The future of these characters is uncertain, but one thing is for sure: the drama in Genoa City is far from over. In the end, Kyle must make a choice. Will he fight for his future with Claire, or will he allow the past to destroy everything he has built? The truth will come out, and the fallout will be impossible to escape. Only time will tell if Kyle and Claire can overcome the obstacles in their path, or if the betrayals and secrets will prove too much to overcome. The intricate web of lies and deceit between Kyle, Claire, and Audra continues to unravel, pulling each character deeper into a vortex of emotional turmoil and mistrust. Audra, ever the provocateur, is not content with merely keeping her secrets hidden. She seems determined to stir the pot, revealing more about her and Kyle's secret intimacy, sending Claire into a whirlwind of suspicion. In a startling confession, Audra admits to lying about Kyle forgetting his phone charger in her room, a seemingly insignificant detail that nevertheless triggers a larger, darker truth. With a mocking chuckle, Audra goes on to suggest that Kyle would rather be with her than with Claire, a comment that cuts to the core of the fragile trust that Claire has in her relationship with Kyle. This is more than just a cruel taunt, it's a calculated move, one designed to chip away at the foundation of Kyle and Claire's relationship. As the tension rises, Claire can't shake the feeling that something is very wrong, and that unease only grows with each passing day. The weight of his guilt is suffocating Kyle. For all his talk of love and loyalty, his actions have betrayed both Claire and his own sense of integrity. In a desperate attempt to prove his devotion, Kyle begins to entertain the idea of proposing to Claire. He believes that a grand gesture will somehow fix everything. After all, what better way to silence his own doubts and Claire's growing concerns than with a ring? But this plan, born of fear and desperation, is a double-edged sword. A proposal born out of guilt, not genuine desire, is nothing more than a facade. It may fool Claire for a moment, but it will only deepen her doubts in the long run. The problem is, Claire is not naive. She has seen through Kyle's superficial gestures before. The idea of rushing into a marriage, especially under such strained circumstances, will only increase her uncertainty. If Kyle pushes her into a proposal, it will backfire disastrously. She isn't the kind of woman who would be easily swayed by a grand gesture, especially one tainted by the lingering shadows of betrayal. She deserves honesty, not manipulation, and Kyle's reluctance to come clean could drive a permanent wedge between them. As the layers of deception peel away, Claire's suspicion grows. She begins to question what truly happened during Kyle and Audra's time together in France. Her instincts tell her that something went terribly wrong, and her fears are not unfounded. The more Kyle avoids the truth, the more Claire's doubts solidify. What really happened when they were in Nice? Did something happen between them that Kyle is too ashamed to admit? Despite Kyle's reluctance to come forward, the truth is leaking out. Claire has already learned more about their time in France than Kyle realizes. Whether it comes from Audra's taunts, Kyle's own slip-ups, or a well-timed revelation from a third party, Claire is piecing together the fragments of their tangled web of lies. She knows something happened, and with each passing day, she grows more and more disillusioned with Kyle's evasions. The reality of the situation is clear: Kyle is in deeper than he thought. His efforts to keep the truth buried are failing, and Claire is starting to see the cracks in the facade. The question now becomes whether Kyle will come clean on his own terms, or if the truth will come crashing down on him in the most humiliating and painful way possible. In his desperation, Kyle begins to consider the idea of proposing to Claire, hoping that a diamond ring will somehow undo the damage he's done. But will Claire see through the desperation behind this gesture? Will she accept a proposal that feels more like a desperate plea for forgiveness than a symbol of genuine love? Kyle is walking a fine line, and every move he makes now is crucial. If he isn't careful, his attempts to save his relationship could drive Claire away for good. As Claire grapples with her suspicions and the looming possibility of Kyle's proposal, Audra is not content to sit idly by. The battle for Kyle's heart is far from over. She knows the power she holds over him, and she isn't afraid to wield it. Her manipulations are far from finished, and she's ready to strike again. But as the stakes continue to rise, both Kyle and Claire will be forced to confront the truth, no matter how ugly it may be. In the end, Kyle may find himself at a crossroads. Does he confess everything, risking the only chance he has to salvage his relationship with Claire? Or does he continue to hide behind lies, only to lose her forever? The choice is his, but the consequences of his actions will reverberate far beyond the confines of their relationship, altering the course of their lives forever.